Welcome to the session, GEAR, Integrating Technology and Content Areas, Social Studies, presented by GEAR, a program offered by the Office of Early Childhood. My name is Kim Cellini, and I'm an Early Childhood Professional Learning Specialist with ACES. I will be your facilitator this session. Thank you for joining me. To set yourself up for success for this session, we will run through it continuously. Please feel free to pause and go back as needed. Some resources and materials you might want to gather before we get started are the Connecticut Early Learning and Development Standards, the Spiral Book, as well as the Connecticut DOTS documents and booklets. This will help you engage in learning a little bit deeper about social studies for preschool age children. You may also use the links and resources attached to this module before, during, and after the session. You may also share what you've learned with a colleague or recommend this session for them to engage with. You may also check out other sessions around other content areas such as math and literacy. The goals for this session include understanding developmentally appropriate social studies skills for preschool age children, exploring digital tools for educators to support planning social studies experience for preschool age children, as well as explore strategies for integrating technology with hands-on play-based learning opportunities during social studies experiences. There is a resource on the main page from NIAC's Journal of Young Children titled Knowledgeable and Engaged Young Citizens, Social Studies in Early Childhood. An empowering quote from this article is, "Children need opportunities to question and learn about big issues that affect them, their families, and their communities." This article highlights the use of history to support developing global citizenship through empowering children to think critically of how their actions impact their community and environment. You may pause this session to read this article and other supporting articles linked in the main page. Some other article options include Rocking and Rolling, Supporting Curiosity and Inquiry in Early Social Studies, Empowering Up Interdisciplinary Project-Based Learning for Young Engaged Citizens. And so at this time, you're welcome to pause the session to read one or all three of the articles to start gaining some ideas that will help you with later planning in this session. Now that you have had some time to read through the three different articles and get a deeper understanding of how young children engage and build curiosity of their environment, community, and family, let's reflect on where you currently are with integrating social studies into your classroom or program. So these three questions are ways that you can support that reflection. How are the children in your classroom and programs currently engaging with social studies? What might be something new you would like to try and consider for the children in your classroom or program? And how do other content areas connect to social studies related to the new information that you have learned? You may also pause and jot down some ideas at this point or turn and discuss with a colleague. Here are the Connecticut ELDs that focus on 4 areas of topics that are identified within the social studies domain. Strand A is early learning experiences will support children to understand self, family, and a diverse community. Strand B is early learning experiences will support children to learn about people and the environment. Strand C is early learning experiences will support children to develop an understanding of economic systems and resources. And strand D is early learning experiences will support children to understand change over time. So, as adults supporting young children in their learning environment, these are the four topics that are essential for them to start to gain and understand social studies as a topic within their early learning experiences. And so as we move forward, we're going to see where all of this starts to fit in planning and supporting through technology and play-based learning. The Connecticut DOTS supports ways to observe and assess young children on the topic of social studies. Here we see that ages 3 to 4 children are demonstrating an understanding of self as it relates to the broader world. What are their roles and responsibilities? Can they communicate about their family and culture? Do they talk about present and past events or experiences? Whereas for ages 4 to 5, it starts to expand a bit more. You might be noticing that children ages 4 to 5 are demonstrating an understanding of individuals and groups and how they share similarities and differences. Are they able to communicate characteristics of themselves and others? Do they share about various languages, foods, customs, or cultural differences? These are great experiences for young children, and with the resources provided in our time together today to dig deeper into social studies, we can really start to think about the times when we have observed young children naturally engaging in these ideas and or what opportunities can be planned for that support these understandings as well. So really thinking about those Connecticut ELDs and the four topics and how they connect to the dots and how we might observe young children naturally in their environment or providing planned experiences. And of course, also encouraging families to provide some input as well. Using that cycle is really best practice and what can promote social studies learning for young children. Here are some teacher resources for social studies. So out of these four, I'm going to go through a little bit about what each of them means. And after each one or after this slide, you're welcome to pause and engage in the links that will be provided on the main page. So the first one is the Illinois Early Learning Project, which has many resources related to planning for social studies experiences for young children. And in my research, I have found that this directly connects nicely to our Connecticut Early Learning and Development Standards, and it provides opportunities for learning related to those four strands that were identified in earlier slides. The next one is the Teaching Strategies website. It has a quick, easy read blog that includes practical ways to integrate social studies. There are many tips and tricks with using technology as well. So really thinking about how you are passively, actively using technology to support social studies opportunities for young children. So really thinking about those ways that you are engaging with them alongside them in technology and previewing any videos or experiences in the online digital world. The next one is Colorado Early Learning and Development Guidelines. This website also aligns nicely to the Connecticut Early Learning and Development Standards, and it provides practical ways to support social studies skills in the learning environment. So both different states have different standards. However, they do directly align to the ELDs, which is really nice resource for us to be able to have access to for free. And then PBS Kids has a great resource page for planning learning around social studies as it relates to topics such as civics, government, economy, and history. And there are some learning opportunities for children as well on PBS Kids, again, being actively participating with them in those experiences are really important, and previewing the videos as well. So you're welcome to pause now and engage in exploring in all four of those, or getting some ideas for your planning as well. Here are some strategies for teaching social studies skills. There are many ways educators can start to think about implementing social studies skills into their daily classroom practices by using digital resources such as PBS Kids, which has a host of videos on various social studies topics. I would encourage the active use of these videos by previewing the video and pre-planning out what questions or discussion points you would use with the children in your classroom or program. Play-based learning approaches during centers or choice time is a great opportunity to implement social studies skills, especially economics and other social skills such as building friendships, while children engage in creating a provocation such as a restaurant or store to be a part of their dramatic play center. Documentation with tablets using photographs and videos can be another way to track time and progress by creating digital portfolios for individual children and or the classroom as a whole. Children can reflect on the progress and learning about what took place over time. Connecting with your community and building partnerships for children to help the environment is also another great opportunity to connect social studies skills. Partnering with the city or town to do a trash cleanup around the park or local garden is a way to practice citizenship. Another important social studies skill for young children is understanding themselves and their family. Finding ways where children can celebrate and share their identities and their family's traditions and experiences will help foster strengthening their self-awareness and social skills that connect directly to these social studies ideas. So hopefully these are some other opportunities that you can start to plan for in our next session. Slide. So here is a time where you can pause and access this planning template that is accessible on the main page. You may take the time to explore the social studies template to plan some ways to integrate social studies into your classroom practices as we discussed today. There's an opportunity to think about whole group lessons that might connect to videos or stories that you have read, using small group learning that connects directly to play, such as the grocery store that we discussed in the earlier slides, and how to document progress in children's assessments. So really thinking about how we're using those Connecticut Early Learning and Development Standards, those ideas, and how we're planning experiences for young children as a whole group or small group, and then connecting with the Connecticut Early Learning DOTS system to be able to assess where children are. So really doing that continuous cycle will support best practice, as well as those ideas for social studies where children are really thinking about themselves as an individual and then expanding within their family and then out within their community, and really focusing on how that supports their understanding of citizenship, economics, geography, and history. And so this planner will be a time for you to start getting ideas through the resources that were provided with you, or if you're working alongside a colleague, starting to be able to integrate social studies a little bit more readily into your classroom or program. So you're welcome to pause now or continue. If you are interested in additional support, there is professional learning available to you at no cost for your staff and families. There are various topics that a facilitator such as myself can come out to you in your program and provide professional learning. So if you would like to learn more or make a request, you're welcome to contact Lisa Seals. Her email address is here. And then if you would like to learn more, the Learning Hub is available with various topics for you to engage in as well. So thank you again for joining us for GEAR, Integrating Technology and Content Areas, Social Studies, presented by GEAR, and it is a program authored by the Office of Early Childhood. And thank you for joining me, and I hope you have great planning and experiences that you will offer to your young children in your classroom and programs. Take care.